Welcome to the Vermillion Podcast, a free audio library of business strategies, creative inspiration, and industry knowledge for actors, filmmakers, writers, and anyone looking to activate their creative potential. I'm Misha Calvert, a writer-director who helps artists build the careers that they dream of. I really hope that this podcast inspires you in some way. Thanks for tuning in.
I am so excited for the guest that we have in the studio today. Actress and writer, Cassidy Layton, and musician as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, Cassidy.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Awesome. Yeah, me too. You have an extraordinary canon of work on film and television. You may recognize her from Severance. You were also on Hunters.
Yeah.
And Elspeth. And what are some of the other highlights from your work?
Ooh, those are the really good ones. I did a little stint on New Amsterdam. My first acting thing on TV ever, as a random Actors Access call, I played ice skating Donald Trump on Full Frontal with Sam B. It was like a political sketch, and they wanted a young female person who could ice skate with all the makeup, a wig, to do this whole nativity scene on ice as Donald Trump. So that was a wild intro to TV and film.
Oh, you're an ice skater.
No, that's actually the second job that I've gotten by lying about being able to ice skate. Insanely. I'm from Florida, so I don't ice skate. Have never ice skated, but it was, right out of drama school. And they were looking for this role for somebody who could ice skate. And I was like, I'll do whatever, So I said yes. I had some teacher who probably horribly misinformed me and was like, let them tell you no. You say that you can do whatever you can.
Did they cut you?
No. I'm
Wow.
in the episode, yeah. And
Wow.
then the other thing was, again, right out of drama school, a background role or something, and they wanted ice skaters. And once again, I was like, I can ice skate.
I lied once and it worked, so we can do it again.
Exactly.
Ice skating is hard.
Yeah, I came out not horribly injured from both situations, but definitely with some battle wounds. I don't lie about my special skills anymore, but at the time it worked for me.
I shot an ice skating movie recently with
Oh my
Rand Sawyer
gosh.
Spielberg, and she was an ice skater before she was an actor, so she's extremely talented, but
Yeah.
it's still very hard.
Very difficult skill. Yeah, high stakes skill.
That's hilarious. How do you feel about having played perhaps your most iconic role of all, Donald Trump?
Whoa. I feel great about it.
Not politically charged at all.
No, yeah. I met some really cool people on that job. Honestly, that was one of the few early roles where it sort of peels back the veil of how things are made, and that is such an exciting process as a young performer, and totally got me hooked. So in that way, super grateful, but yeah, it is a hilarious asterisk on my acting career.
Definitely expanding to people to be able to hear that you can submit on Actors Access without an agent or manager
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
and get picked up and shoot a TV show.
That was how I got my first few roles, actually.
Wow.
Even Hunters was,
No.
I was unwrapped. I was unwrapped.
Wow.
Yeah, they were looking for somebody who was willing to shave their head, and I was like, yeah, I know. I was crazy at the time. I wanted it so
Some
bad.
Emma Stone shit.
Yeah, it was.
You kind of look like her.
Thank you so much. I've gotten that a few times, and I'm always just like, thank you. It's yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
You should write her and ask to play her sister in a movie.
I totally agree, but I'm in my brain, I'm what? Do I need to write the movie where we're sisters?
Get a friend to get me to write it.
Yeah.
I would write that movie for you.
Oh my gosh, please, I'll be the lunatic to be on Instagram being like, yes, it's gonna happen. Dear Emma Stone, I am your doppelganger, please.
Yeah, now that I've seen it, I can see it. And I think we can do
The
it.
plot is forming in your mind.
Yeah. Well, I did a movie about sisters. Well, you auditioned for it, so yeah, obviously
Oh,
you know about it.
yeah.
So it's on my mind. It's kind of always on my mind because I don't really get along with my sister. But
This
I would
is-
like to, if she's watching, I would like to very much.
Call Misha.
She doesn't want to call me right now. That's okay. Back to you, Cassidy. So you've done all this amazing film and TV work. You just had a one-woman show, which I saw.
Afterwards, I was like, ooh, should I have invited Misha to that? Because, okay, yeah, I mean,
The audience loved it.
yes, it's like a totally wacky show. It's been a real like journey for myself as an artist. And I think it's like something I've wanted to do for a long time to sort of help me like hone my own voice so that I can bring that, into the characters that I play. I think the hardest part often in an acting role is the things that are most like you. Mm-hmm. So I thought like writing this one-woman show would sort of like enable me to access that more freely. And it's been a really great experience. I took the first chunk of it. I got into this festival in Burlington, Vermont, the Snap Festival at the Flynn Theater. And then I just did the first version of it. That's the whole thing. And then I think I'll probably take it next year to Edinburgh. Mm-hmm. And then who knows? But it's been like an amazing artistic experiment for me.
Yeah. What would you say the piece is about?
I was just talking to my therapist about this today.
Because it was very spooky, but it was also very heartfelt and about family.
Thanks. Yeah. It's definitely about family. I think like, short answer, it's about that your family, your community like needs your expression and like needs you to be who you are. And if you can be like a mouthpiece for like a familial dynamic, that's actually like extremely useful, even though like the family unit or your community like might try and silence that or might be nervous about what that expression, what does that expression do? It's actually like very healing.
Some therapist was talking about that as well, just about how much flack the truth teller in the family gets.
Yeah.
And that would be me as well.
Yeah.
So maybe we see each other here. But yeah, like my family therapist referred to me as the, quote, not afraid to be the bad cop.
Yes.
And like say the thing that no one else is willing to say. Do you kind of relate to that?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I think artists so much are like the people who are seeing what's happening and then saying it honestly. Mm-hmm. And that like affects people in a very visceral way because they're not maybe necessarily used to experiencing the truth of their reality. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I hope the play does that. And my favorite thing so far about the play is that like every time I've met with a group of audience members afterwards, they start like telling me their family stuff and like all of their insane lives and what they've gone through. And it's both like so cathartic and so hilarious. So it's nice that we're sort of all in it together. Even if, a lot of these people are not artists. Like in Vermont, it was mostly college students and then like a lot of the 65 plus crowd. And people were like so excited to just sort of dish about their family drama. Mm.
Yeah. My favorite moment, I actually had an unexpected revelation or touch point in the piece. I went to see your work, but you had this moment where you spoke about your brother and a very candid moment of a time when you were a child when you wished that he hadn't come back from war.
Yeah.
And also some of the things that he did to you to perhaps create that feeling. And it really was very powerful for me to hear that. And I was like, whoa, I needed to freaking hear that right now. Like literally tonight, I needed to hear that because of what I'm dealing with my sibling. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to thank you for that.
That's so awesome to hear, man. Yeah, families, I feel like the only way that you can like fully autonomize as like a person and an artist is if you're able to like exit that cage of the family, or that like the family secrets. I've heard like different books help, different like self-help books say, like if you can exit the family secrets, then you can autonomize. And actually like you autonomizing helps the whole family unit. So
where does autonomy end and neglecting your family begin?
Yeah, it's a really, really tough line.
What do you think? Please therapize me right now.
Oh my God, it's such a good question. Well, I think like a lot of people decide at some point, like, I can't see these people anymore. Like they're too harmful or something.
Yeah.
For me, so far, the answer has been to like show up, try and be present, try and be my full self, and try and slowly like start these difficult conversations. But honestly, like, I don't know that I can do much more than that. I actually was really inspired by Ryan Haddad, who has given me some perspective on this show, and he's an amazing playwright and has had tons of work go up to the public, et cetera. And he wrote a very candid show about essentially like all of these different gay men in his community, like not accepting him because of his disability. And some part of that show was about his guilt, like exposing these men. And I think that was very inspiring to me because like it is a guilt-ridden process to sort of like expose your family, even privately in healing, let alone like obviously in front of an audience. So I've tried to sort of anonymize the show as much as possible. And then, yeah, in my own family unit, trying to autonomize has just been going off, doing my therapizing, coming back, and just trying to like be present with them and honest with them rather than like punish them or blame them. Because now, you know, I'm an adult. So like whatever is still in my brain from that experience, like I'm now doing to myself.
Yeah, and I guess if you do veer off into neglect, you know, asking for a friend, then it's because there's going to be that unresolved desire to punish or that unresolved guilt or resentment. It's like that's a you thing that you haven't just gotten right with your own feelings about them, I guess.
Yeah, I have a great a breathwork instructor who talks about.
Wait, who is it?
Jessie Torgerson.
No, don't know.
She's amazing.
I know a lot of breath workers. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, we have to dish about this later. But she always says, like, being with your family is a research project. You get a lot of good data about yourself, and yeah.
Going home for Christmas.
Oh my gosh, I know, it's coming up.
Gonna learn that data. Where are you from?
I'm from Florida.
Oh, wow. Florida girl.
Oh, yeah. I'm from a really small town of like 2,000 or 3,000 people in South Florida. It's technically an island. Very, very wild. Definitely no like TV film studios there, but some decent community theater.
When did you figure out you wanted to be an actor?
It's so tough. Like for the longest time up until my senior year, like, you know, my dad is a doctor. I was like, I'm going to be pre-med. But I also was sort of always dancing around this artist thing. So I did theater my whole life. I had a memory thinking about coming here today where I was on like a school field trip to like a TV studio in Orlando or something. And they had this little exercise where all the kids would get up and like improvise in front of the news camera. And somebody saw me there and was like, you should be repped. Like, please give this letter to your mom when you get home. And so I gave this letter to my mom and she thought it was a scam and threw it away. But I was like, that was my chance. So
Yo, that's crazy.
It was crazy.
Thanks a lot, Mom.
If you're watching, Mom, that was fucked up. But no, I mean, so obviously it was always kind of in my mind. I did community theater and then like kind of last minute veered and went to school for performing arts.
Where?
I went to AMDA. I did their like quickest in and out program possible. So it's like a year and a half.
The old in and out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then did you get a rep when? Did you start to take off in the industry, would you say?
Have I yet?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I need to hear that just for me. Well, right out of AMDA, I did a ton of short films, like just hit the backstage, hit the Actors Access, et cetera. Booked a bunch of short films, just like student films mostly, so I could have a reel, and then started sending that out.
Just listening and taking notes?
I did the homework that like people say to do.
Yeah.
I think I got that crazy paper book that says like which agents are looking. You know, back in the day they printed like a paper thing. I'm sure now it's online. And sent out a bunch of emails. And I got my first like not so great agent that way, but that was fine. You know, helped me get like my first few acting gigs. And then from there, got a manager. And then I'm with my current rep because they ended up seeing me on Severance and they called me, which was crazy because I'd always heard like if you do the work, the right people will find you.
Yeah.
And I never really believed that until I got this phone call and I was like, whoa, it's happening.
Yeah, that happened to my friend. She was just like you maybe 6 months ago or, you know, she had like a few less credits, but her not very good manager, actually, no, I think it was her like commercial agent that submitted her for this TV show, ended up being #1 on the call sheet.
Wow.
And they built the whole cast around her.
Oh my gosh.
Shot season 1, and now you name the agency and they're calling.
Yeah. That's wild. I didn't know that they actually like scoped out that way. It's real.
Yeah. So I think, as Craig Mazin says, the industry is not big enough that you can be extremely good at what you do and continue to be anonymous.
I think that's totally true. Yeah. I have a writing instructor, and it always drives like the young people in his classes crazy. But their first question is like, how do I get this show made? How do I get this show repped? And he's like, write it first. And they're like, no, but when I do. And he's like, no, write it first.
Yeah.
Make it really good.
Yeah.
And it'll find its way.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe I'll refer to these questions that have come in for you. What was the project that you have found the most joy in, other than obviously Donald Trump on Ice?
I mean, what a great start. For sure, Severance. I think I've been generally very lucky. When I first came in to the industry, people said you're going to work on shows where you get no time to work on anything. You're going to just have to like rattle off terrible lines and
learn them on the way over to set.
Yeah, it's going to change and your guest stars are going to be horrible. But that has really luckily not been my experience. I think both Hunters and Severance set like an insanely high bar for the folks that I've gotten to work with. Everyone on Severance was so bought in and continues to be so bought into like every single teeny tiny detail, like costumes, Sarah Edwards, incredible, down to like the shoes need to look worn in because she's like a punk rocker, and like what bass guitar is she using? We went back and forth on the song, tons of different song choices for like that moment, like ended up talking to Metallica. I mean, just like every detail taken care of to like an insane level. Adam Scott's obviously amazing. Everything everybody says about him is true. He's insanely charming and kind and generous. And both Aoife McArdle and Ben Stiller's direction is like incredible. They're such actors, directors, which is so nice. Give you like a million takes. And I think they're looking for something very specific, but it's nice because you really get to like exercise the part. And that was so inspiring to me that, I was thinking about the part all the time. I was working really hard on it because they were modeling this like level of excellence.
Yeah, that's so cool. My friend was dating the show creator for a time.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but too bad I just did. But, to your point of like write it first and put in the work, he had been developing the show for years before it ever got to television. It was a stage play first. And I feel like you can sense that world building like all the way from the ground up.
That is so wild. I didn't know it was a stage play, but I knew that they had been developing it for a super long time. And they obviously had like a very specific idea. But I think even reading the first script, and like it was kind of tough in casting, like the sides, everybody was like, what is going on? And they were like, there's these people with chips in their brains and everything's different, but also it's kind of not because they're the same person. And without like the visual medium, you were like, okay, we're just gonna like send it and see what happens. But obviously, like, they had this incredibly deep world, and then you show up to set, and it's, like, completely built out. Like, even my guitar pick had, like, words inscribed on it.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have that much money.
I know, right?
Man.
That much time and that much money.
Oh, give it to me.
It's gonna happen.
So, are you still in touch with the cast?
Yes. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say.
Okay.
But
maybe some good things happening.
And yeah, everybody in the cast has been amazing. And obviously, like, in season 1, I'm a smaller part. And I had like a long conversation with Britt Lauer, who plays Helly, just like literally via Instagram. So like everybody's been extremely generous just being a part of the cast.
That's so nice. It's nice when people are nice.
Yes, totally. Yeah. Like, I get it. It's tough, especially when you have like a limited amount of time to be able to like help everyone out. But I mean, it makes all the difference. And everybody I know always tries to like pay it forward. You know, you often get like a little bit of help from somebody who's like a mile ahead of you. And then you try and like be able to offer that to the next person coming down the line.
Yeah, like you coming on this podcast. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, no, opposite.
I know the listeners are going to go freaking buck wild over having you here. So listeners and viewers, because we're on video now. So let's talk about your background in music. And, you know, that dovetails with the work that you did on Severance. But what is your background with music? What instruments do you play? What kind of music do you play? Tell me everything.
Yes. So as you know from the play, my dad is a Grateful Dead head, so I grew up around a dad playing guitar my whole life, which, you know, wild that in Severance, we ended up having that like scene where we're playing guitar like with each other. It was very deep family connection. So yeah, I grew up playing guitar. I will say I play it quite badly. When I auditioned, I was gonna play guitar in the show, but they changed it like 2 months out to bass guitar, which is quite different. So I sort of like, I just
Had to learn
practiced.
bass?
Yeah, had to
Whoa.
learn bass. Practice it like a lunatic all day, every day. And the band in the show is a real band. They're called Dollhouse. And so the bass player of Dollhouse was like helping me learn the bass at all hours of the day and night and via text and stuff. So I will say I also play bass. In the show, it's really me playing. I'm sure I've lost most of that now. I also grew up playing flute.
Aw.
Yeah, much to the chagrin of my friends and family, because, you know, when you're learning flute, it's...
Wait, Donald Trump played flute
No,
in school band.
that is so weird.
Actually, I'm gonna Google that. Please keep
Pull
talking.
it up.
Yeah.
That's wild. Wow, we're more connected than I even thought. Me and Donnie. Yeah, so I play those 3 instruments, and then I grew up singing my whole life. I did a very intense pseudo-competitive children's choir from
Whoa.
like, 4th grade to like senior year of high school.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was wild. So, and in a small town, like, you don't know anything about TV or like the industry. So I just did musicals. That's like a very accessible, you know,
The
form of
gateway
theater.
drug.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I went to school for musical theater.
Yeah, I was Annie.
Oh my gosh.
My first role. Yeah.
That's an iconic role.
Thank you very much. I was very proud. And yes, Donald Trump stated he played the flute as a child after taking lessons, though he said he didn't particularly like it and it wasn't for him. And at age 12, he revealed that he was brilliant at music. You have so much in common.
Wow, I have so much to learn about him. So anyways, yeah, so I've sort of always done different types of music. I have done a few musicals in the city.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Like what?
So, well, I was in the national tour of Charlotte's Web, which was really cool.
Were you Charlotte?
I was Fern.
Okay.
But it was kind of a cool, like, folk music revival. We got to work with this awesome folk band, and, like, they wrote original music for the whole thing. Insanely enough, I was in one of the original productions of All Star, the Smash Mouth musical.
Holy
where
shit.
every single song is All Star in different musical arrangements. So there's like a dramatic, hey now, you're an all-star.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's like a, you know, an upbeat.
Was it a comedy?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely
Okay.
a comedy, yeah. So yeah, that kind of stuff. And then I had never had like a singer credit, but weirdly that same guy who ran the children's choir that I grew up doing, he like moved on and runs this huge choir and part of the symphonic orchestra in Albany. And they were doing a concert at Carnegie Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, would you want to come sing? And I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. And so I got to reunite there. And then in like the most cinematic moment of my life, like a week before, he was like, the lead singer is sick. We have to hold auditions for the
God.
solo.
Oh my God.
And I ended up getting to do the solo.
Wow.
So that was crazy.
That's wild. That's giving Black Swan, but with a happy ending.
Yes, yes. I didn't collapse off the stage at the end.
Wow, that's really cool. So what would be your dream role at this point in your life?
Whoa, that's such a good question. So I just shot a pilot that I knew the people like involved, which is how I got involved in it. And the writer's whole thing was like, he was trying to write like dream roles for people. And I also didn't really have an answer for him then, because I love like diving into whatever is in front of me. But that role was like a female like heist thief, and she has like a partner who she's sort of domineering and commanding over, and has had this like really crazy childhood. So like that was a very exciting role to play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working just personally on like classical theater roles at all times. So
Amazing.
any of, Tennessee Williams' work, Arthur Miller, Annie Baker, like any of those works, definitely a dream role.
Who's your favorite Tennessee Williams character?
Oof. So I'm currently working on Maggie from Cat.
Yep.
I mean, my favorite to watch is Blanche. I think someday I will absolutely destroy Glass Menagerie, the mom.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's incredible.
I could play Laura tomorrow.
Dude,
Yeah. Give me that clomping foot.
get in there. Get in there. What's your favorite role?
You know, I like the kind of screwed up ones. Just kidding, they're all screwed up. But I like Alma
Oh, yeah.
in Summer and Smoke. She's,
Underrated.
yeah, she's such a weirdo. And she's like so horny, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Horny for that guy. Same with Maggie, so horny. And
Yes.
I love that. I love that he wrote just like raw, wild, horny women all the time.
Totally.
Obviously Blanche. I played Stella at one point, and
Okay.
you know, really I found a lot of sympathy for her. It's easy to hate Stella,
Totally.
but like again, horny.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
she just like she had her man, he did his thing. She was like cool with that. Yeah, he beats me, but like whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm randomly reading this Tennessee Williams book right now, and I guess Elia Kazan said about Stella, like, she's addicted to malaise because it's like her sense of safety is like, I'm letting this happen, sort of thing.
yeah, and you know, she walked away from the whole family dying,
Yeah.
which I'm definitely more of a Blanche in real life. Here we
Are you more of a Blanche or a Stella?
We're coming back to my family dynamics once again. But yeah, I can really relate to Blanche and being like the only one that's taking care of the dying parents.
Totally.
You know, and what a role.
What a role. Yeah. I will revise my answer. And now that I've been thinking about it, I'll revise my answer slightly. And I feel like this is sort of a corny answer, but anytime you get to play female rage is like so rare, so delicious.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten to play like a Southerner. And I feel like Southern women, per Tennessee Williams, are like so ready to let it rip. So yeah, that would be definitely a dream role.
I noticed, is that a wedding ring on your finger?
It's a wedding ring.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Can I look at it?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So this makes me think of wedding and engagement ring. And it makes me think of husband, is it?
As a husband, yeah.
And how he must reconcile your career as an actor. Was there ever a discussion around that?
You know, it's kind of awesome. So my husband was like a business guy.
Love those.
Love him, kind of. But he was living in Texas, had this very like normal businessy career, and then was like, I'm gonna go try and be on Broadway.
Whoa.
Yeah. Moved to New York City.
Whoa.
Yeah, we met doing a show. We were in a cabaret. We were both like assigned to each other. We were gonna like sing in this duet. People will say we're in love from Oklahoma.
No way.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
No way.
It's ridiculous.
What a meet cute.
Yeah. And basically, first of all, he had that annoying thing where like he kind of didn't really care. So he like was booking a ton. Cause you know, you go in with that
he was
like.
expanded.
Yes, he was expanded.
Yeah.
But then in COVID, like 2020, 2021, he was like, this isn't really it for me. Like, I don't love it that much.
That's even worse.
I like, right? He's like, I just don't love it. And
All this success, it just isn't enough.
it just isn't enough. Well, and he's an amazing vocalist, amazing singer, but he saw sort of all the work I was doing on like the acting craft. And I think he knew for like the next step of his career, that was what he was gonna have to do. And
Wow.
he just wasn't really like interested in that. So he told his agents, like, I'm out. I'm just gonna,
Whoa.
yeah, I know. Can you imagine? So he like gets it, which is great. He gets sort of the whole actor thing. And he's always sort of said like, I want to support you in this career and this craft as much as possible, which has been amazing.
That's beautiful. Did he go back to business?
He is in business. Yes, he's the CEO of a adult diaper company.
Really?
Yeah, it's technically like a medical supply company.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do they have a government contract or? No, sorry.
It's okay.
That's a dig.
They don't right now. But yeah, so he's like an entrepreneur. He'll like acquire a small business and then make it profitable, and that's his thing. And yeah,
That's
and
cool.
he's a very expansive person and loves the arts.
Wow. Awesome. And you live here in New York?
Yeah, I live in Brooklyn.
Cool. What are you working on next? Is there anything that you want to give a shout out to?
Ooh, so exciting. I mean,
Now that the show's closed, right? The run of the...
yeah, the show's closed. I'm sure it'll go up somewhere else. I have a theater company called Divine Riot. It is producing a show called The Big Bad, which is written by Rendara Santiago. Lamford Award-winning and Showtime series staff writer, Rendara Santiago, amazing human being. And the show sort of at its core is about like family reuniting around like one family member's crisis, and sort of like video game inspired. This character creates video games and so sort of plays through the video game of their family. Core message being like, we need each other, like we all need each other in this life, no matter how frictiony that is. And, you know, how do you move through despair? So I think that's going to be like a really important show. And yeah, we'll be announcing more about that soon. So yeah, I would say follow Divine Riot.
Wow. Divine Riot on social media. And I would love to come see that show. That sounds great.
Yeah, definitely. Please.
Cool. Well, I guess if you want to leave our watchers and listeners with any words of wisdom, because there's going to be a lot of people looking at your career and being like, that is what I want. She is my dream.
Whoa.
Do you have any advice on people pursuing their own dream? Obviously not to copy your career. That's weird, guys. But, you know, to find their own dream and to have the courage to follow it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, when in my brief stalking of you, like, I think you do such a good job of this, but just encouraging folks to like focus on being themselves, trying to enter a room with the confidence that like who you are is wholly enough. You know, I have this genius friend, Esteban Benito, very successful actor.
Great name.
Such a great name. And he always says like, you have to make the industry see who you are, because they're not going to understand you. Even if you're like the most cookie cutter, whatever, like I fit into XYZ role. Like when you walk in a room, they're trying to figure out what's going on, and you have to be able to like enter that room and show
Have a
them
clear
who you are.
signal.
Yeah, totally. And that takes, you know, like a lot of craft work, but also just like a lot of personal development. So yeah.
How did you do that? How did you get to that personal development? Like, what did you use?
Acting class has been huge for me, like keeping it as a gym. 3 of the people I worked with on Severance happened to be from this acting class. So proof,
No.
yeah, proof positive.
Wait, what acting class?
Carl Bury,
I've never heard of that.
he's great. He's a Larry Moss guy, like Larry Moss technique, kind of. He's made it his own. But yeah, so like craft work, because also like when you're focused on the character, then like who you are can shine rather than you being nervous about like how you're being perceived, I think. So that, I mean, therapy, breath work, meditation, journaling, and then making your own work too. Like I think understanding what a director is going through, what a producer is going through helps you enter that process in like a more embodied way rather than showing up and being like, okay, I'm like the little baby actor. Where do you want me? What do you want me to do? Like, how can I prove it to you?
For sure. Breathwork, I like Beth McGuire
I've never heard of her.
and Ilsa Pfeiffer.
I've heard of Ilsa Pfeiffer. Heard great things.
Yeah, I think Beth was at Yale for a really long time, but they're both great. And then to your last point about filmmaking, I think it's one of the best things, like you just said, you know, it really shows you how to look at a film from not just your own perspective and how to really have empathy for every other department and to understand how the whole mechanism works. And I think for people who are wanting to move from that guest star to a more lead role, it's one of the best things too, because you have to be able to hold the whole production in your consciousness.
Yeah.
And to really be a leader on that set, to be like a true number one, as my friend calls it. But I mean, I think you're there.
Thanks,
Not that we were talking about that, but I think we're going to see you leading a show very soon.
Whoa. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, thank you for coming in, Cassidy. It was so great to have
course.
you. And please follow Cassidy on Instagram, check out Divine Riot, and we are very grateful to have you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
The Vermillion podcast is sponsored by Vermillion, a home for artists. We offer classes, coaching, and community for creatives and innovators in the arts. If you're ready to find your voice and build the life of your dreams, we're here to support you every step of the way. Check out clubvermillion.com and schedule a free call today.